going. It says we're live. We are live. This Hey Now is on the air. Good morning, everybody, or afternoon or evening, depending on where you are. In case you don't recognize, did my camera just quit?
No, you're on. Oh, you froze.
I froze. I'm in. I'm out. I'm in. I'm out.
Your picture's still there.
In case you guys don't recognize me, I'm Len. Hello, Len. Yeah, I'm glad I'm back in one piece too. Yeah, my camera just quit. But that's all right. You don't need to see me. Good morning. Welcome, everybody. And the camera is off. Now the camera's on. Oh, this camera is getting to be really dicey. Laura, do you have anything you'd like to say to the good folks out there?
No, but this is I'm just kind of smiling really big because this day, not just today, but every day, you said, are you ready to go live? And it's just like, we live this chapter every single day. And I really enjoyed it. And that's honest to God truth. That's why I'm smiling, because magically transforming mistakes into blessings. We make mistakes all the time, and we absolutely learn from them. And anyway, so good morning, everybody. I'm glad you joined us. Hi, Chris. Thanks for joining us. And no, I'm ready for the lesson for today. So welcome back, Len.
Yeah, I think it really is an important lesson. And one of the lessons that I might be learning something from is that I should have replaced my camera yesterday. But since I had to put new tires on my car, I spent my time and money getting the car untangled. I completely, totally shredded a tire on the freeway Sunday afternoon. And when I say shredded, I mean it was well done. But you know what? You're right. This is a great chapter because there's an important message here, and I'm not going to screw with the camera anymore. The camera's off. The hell with it. It's really an important message. It's the same thing that we all know about. It is not possible to make progress without taking action, and it is not possible to take action and not make mistakes. And so many people sit back and they're afraid of doing something because, well, what if I get it wrong? What if people don't like me? What if this? What if that? So what? Can you imagine? I've said this before, and I love this analogy. Imagine you're 6, 7, 8 months 8 months old, and you go, this walking business. I don't know about this walking business. Does anybody have a manual? Do you know how to do this? Is there a YouTube video? Can somebody tell me how to do that? I see. If I stay, I might fall down. What if I fall down and get hurt? What if I get it wrong? I better not try this. I better wait for the YouTube video to teach me how to do this. You'd be still sitting there in your diapers, maybe 30 years old. You wouldn't have taken your first step yet, right?
Yep.
I mean, we didn't have these fears when we were little kids. We were born without it. We were born clean and pure. We weren't born with the fear. We weren't born with any concern about, well, what are the neighbors going to think? If I don't make it on my third try, they're going to think I'm pretty dumb. I better not try it at all. They might laugh at me. We weren't born with these fears. We developed them as adults, and we can get rid of them as adults.
Yep.
And I'm glad you can't see me. That's my rant for the morning. That's the lesson to me. That to me is the whole point of this lesson. As adults, we've let all these fears creep into us. And I remember my mother all the time. What are the neighbors going to think I'm raising? Well, who gives a damn what the neighbors think you're raising? I guess she did. But yeah. I'm really glad. I'm really been working very, very hard at getting all of that crap out of me. Who cares what the neighbors think? Screw the neighbors, right?
Yep.
That's what I have to say.
Okay.
Take it away. Take it away, Laura.
Thank you for telling us how you feel.
Pardon me?
Thank you for telling us how you feel, and it's okay to rant. It just this is how I feel like as a mom, that we didn't get a manual with the kids. And so everything that we do, we learn as parents. We learn, things that work and things that don't work. And for the things that don't work, you got to tweak it and change it up and try again. And so it's just funny because, you know, we'll have friends who will come to us and they'll say, oh, I just have tried everything and I'm doing this and this and this and sometimes there's something very specific that even though they're trying other things, they're really doing the same exact thing. And so when we talk about it and we find out, yeah, you're really doing the same thing, you really have to change it up, you know, for it to be different. Learn the lesson. What lesson are you learning? And once you learn the lesson, you move on to something else. And I don't know, that's kind of how we, sometimes Rick and I would like rack our brains like, okay, what are we supposed to be learning right now? Because we wanted it to be over. And so anyway, so I think, you know, we still, as parents, we still are learning that, but we're getting better at it as we go. And some things now are easier to figure out right away, you know, like, okay, this right here is a lesson. Yes. So we're going to learn from it and we want to move on very quickly. And Rick, if you're listening, you know exactly what I'm talking about today.
And
So yeah.
kids will teach you lessons.
Oh yeah.
They will teach you patience.
Yeah.
They
Yes.
will teach you a lot of things if you let them.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yep.
They can occasionally teach you child abuse too.
Oh boy. Yikes. But anyway, so I like how they how when we read into the story, I like how they use the example of the speeding police car and how to be grateful for that if you get caught with a speeding ticket. And there's so many different ways. You know, that happened to me once, and I remember somebody telling me, "Oh yeah, if you go into court, you don't pay the ticket, you make the appointment." And I don't know if this is just Michigan, but you go into the court, you tell the judge you're sorry, you know, it's never happened to you before. He won't give you any points, and sometimes you won't have to pay the fine, and it'll be done. Well, they changed that law, and I went in there expecting that this was going to happen, you know, oh, you know, this has never happened to me. I don't have any points. I'm a good driver, and I just want to slap on the wrist. Well, the judge actually said to me, do you realize, you know, I mean, he basically said some of these things, you know, you need to feel grateful that that police officer pulled you over before you hurt anybody. And that's what he said to me. And I was thinking, you got to be kidding me. And anyway, it brought up the fact that now I'm reading in this chapter, I'm like, wow, okay, yeah, I'm looking at it a little bit differently now because he's right. You know, I'm grateful to the police for wanting to protect me from harming anybody because I was speeding. You know, that's why they have speed signs up, right? And so I was just going through this thinking, I'm grateful for the police for my wake-up call. Being pulled over did affect me, and it will make me watch my speed and drive more carefully in the future. And I'm grateful to the police. They must see heartbreaking situations every day. And all they're trying to do is protect my life and my family's life. And I thought about that. You know what? If we're not paying attention to this, you know, this is for speeding tickets, and we're not grateful for people who are enforcing the rules are there to follow to keep us safe. And so, yeah, if they're not enforcing people speeding, yeah, this could be harmful. And it is a lot of times. So I don't want to get off track, but yeah, so I'm grateful for the police making sure that I arrived home safely and walked through the door to my family as I usually do. I'm grateful to the police because all the possible consequences that could have stopped me from speeding, the police pulled me over was the least harmful consequence. And it could have been the biggest blessing in my life. And yeah, so I like this chapter because it was like right on point, even though for me that was not something that was recent. That was like over 18 years ago. But it made me be grateful for, you know, seeing when the police are out and seeing that they pull people over and hoping that the people that they pull over are grateful that they didn't hurt anybody and they stopped them before anything happened. So that's what I think.
Okay. And it's especially good when they pull over the drunk drivers and get them off the road, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, I remember one time, this was recent, well, this is like 2 years ago. We were coming back, we just went to a family birthday party, and it was nighttime, and we got the kids in the car, and Rick was driving, and we pulled off out of the street, and like 2 blocks later, we got pulled over. And of course, the police came to the car and said, "You know why you were pulled over?" And we didn't. Rick said, "No, I don't." And he said, driver's license registration. And come to find out, his lights weren't on. He forgot to flick the lights on. And so because the kids were in the car, he said, "Where were you?" Well, Rick, not even thinking of it, he said, "We just got back from a party." Not like a drinking party, but he didn't say a family party. He said, "Yeah, we just got back from a party." So the guy was like, "Oh, well, why were you at the party?" And he says, "Oh, it was just a gathering." And he still didn't say it was a family party. Well, come to find out, they actually did a short sobriety test for him. And later, as we were thinking about it, we were thankful that he did that, because not that we knew what was going to happen, which nothing happened because we weren't drinking, but that other people that has happened to, and they pulled over with kids in the car. The officer knew there were kids in the car, and he was just making sure that we were being responsible, and especially because the kids were in the car. So we were very thankful that we was pulled over. We thought that was the first time that ever happened. But we were just really grateful that it was just the lights and that everything was fine. So
one of the classic symptoms of people that have been drinking is that they forget to turn the lights on. That's actually a classic.
Okay.
It's actually a classic sign. It's interesting. I think we better start to wrap up. It's 10:15, but it's interesting that the estimate is that most people break the law roughly 2,000 times for every time they actually get a ticket or get caught.
Wow.
We run red lights consistently. We speed consistently. I mean, we do. We make illegal lane changes. And we do lots of things. So the number is actually pretty staggering.
Wow.
But so magically transforming mistakes into blessings. Should we wrap up today's exercise?
Yeah, I think we've talked enough today.
Choose. So besides the getting up and the writing the 10 things that you're grateful for, which I did, I have my 10. And I got to tell you that today one of my second thing on my list was I'm grateful for AAA, because I was able to call AAA out on the freeway yesterday and have them come out or Sunday rather, and deal with the tire on my van.
Okay.
So I don't carry a jack. The van, I don't want to be jacking that van up trying to change a tire, especially not out on the freeway. I let the professionals deal with it. So choose one mistake you made in your life and find a total of 10 blessings you're grateful for as a result of making that mistake, and write them down. Sounds like Laura's already got her list.
I do.
To help you find blessings, you can ask yourself the question, what did I learn from the mistake? And what are the good things that came out of the mistake? Can we talk about my first marriage? I better leave that one alone. All right.
Depends if you learn from it. Did you learn anything from it?
I think we're out of time today, Laura. I think we better close this down.
All right, I'm just saying.
So just before you go to sleep tonight, hold your magic rock in one hand and say the magic words, "Thank you," for the best thing that happened during the day. But I really do. I think, Laura, I think we're on the same page with this. This really, really is a very, very powerful chapter in terms of just learning, not being afraid to make mistakes, not being afraid to admit you made a mistake, and learning from your mistakes. Love AAA. Been with them 15 years, a premium member. In fact, I had my kid on it too, and he had to call yesterday because he locked his keys in his car. Yeah,
Oh boy.
yeah, yeah. That's a classic, Chris. You know, over the years, I've had AAA unlock my car more than once. I've had them come jump start a dead battery more than once, and I've had them change more than one flat tire. Those are the biggies that most of us end up with. But
At least the car wasn't running. They had to come unlock my car one time and it was running. I locked it.
well, I've done that twice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome. Not awesome, but
We're way over time, but hey, I on New Year's Eve, about 10 o'clock at night, 10:30 at night, on my way to a party in a pouring down rainstorm. I jumped out of the car and ran in the grocery store. It was a BYOB. I ran into the store to buy a 6-pack of beer. When I came out, the car was locked. Now, I'm not going to try to explain how that happened. I don't know how it happened. And the motor was running. Oh, I left the motor on because it was a cold night. I wanted to keep the car warm for me. Try to find anybody to come out on New Year's Eve at like 11:30 at night and unlock. Never mind. We better stop. The story will get long. That's all I have for you today. I'll be quiet now.
okay. Well, that's all we have. So thanks everybody for joining us. Thanks, Chris, and we'll see you again tomorrow.
Meanwhile, we'll see you on Lunch with Len at 11:30.
Yep. Okay.
Bye for now.
now.